Okay. We are not giving up, it seems. Okay, so we're going to try again and see how it goes this time. All right, this is the part 2 of the session tonight. Okay, I'm not sure if there's any one of you still there. Still trying to come back in to tune in. Okay, I'm so sorry for the quite long that technical glitch. Okay, for at least 10 minutes we were out. Yeah, again, it's like, the whole internet line was down. Okay, we have to reboot it again. It happens quite often lately also lah. Okay, but it's okay. All right, so hopefully now that everything gets back in again, I listened back to the previous live itself. Okay, so I actually stopped at like different intention of meditation. Okay, as you can see that there are some part of the meditation itself, okay, that really talks about people like in a way surrendering ourselves in total, okay, to whatever gods or spirits or like creators, okay, that somehow that we believe and have faith in. So there is another sort, okay, that will lead to people that can actually get into that part of how to say intensive trance, as if that we are in that mediumship. All right, Amy Wong, thank you so much, okay, for staying put. All right, Katie Gore, still here. Thank you so much to all of you. So I have to really ask the help from all of you. If you can, please do help me to share this out, okay? I know it's like for any other Facebook Live, probably it's like most of the time, but people tune in like this, right? People will be start cursing and swearing and then, of course, stop tuning in anymore. So I am very blessed that all of you still relentlessly being there for me, for us, okay, while the team are helping me to rectify the whole thing, okay, where else you have the patience to actually, in a way, tune in again. Thank you so much, Mabel Lau. All right, so please do help me to share this session out again, okay? Please click on the share so that it can reach out to more people, okay? If that's okay with you. Let's get back into the topic, okay? So just now I mentioned that if you really see over all this while in histories itself, right, there are always somehow some people either in like Chinese metaphysics, in feng shui or bazi, or even in religious sort of like backgrounds. As I mentioned, there are pastors or they are caretakers, they are like, tempers, sort of like operators and all that. They somehow get themselves involved into some sort of like news, okay? Some news that is like, probably is like, being at the position where people start judging, okay? And all these things is what I mean by intention. So remember, meditations, relies a lot on intention. What is our intention? So a lot of people nowadays, as I mentioned earlier on, is like, all these meditation centers, okay, meditation sort of like availabilities, okay, are mushrooming everywhere, okay? As you can see, there are almost every yogis, okay, or people who are certified as a yoga practitioners can hold a meditative circle, okay? And there's no such thing so far as far as I'm concerned, as in like, there's no things, okay, by law that certified that whether you are a meditative practitioner or not, whether you can actually facilitate the meditation or not. So far, there's still no such thing. Therefore, it opens up, okay, a platform for almost anyone or everyone, okay, to be able to hold these things. And this anyone and everyone, okay, including myself, I'm also human. Who knows, one day I will be like, in a way, siphoned out of the path myself. When I look at the money, it looks like really very sumptuous. It looks very tempting to me. And to me, in order for me to just look for more money or like, earn all money, I will do whatever it takes, okay, by forgetting the pure intention of the whole of this study. It could happen, okay? Well, who knows, right? But the thing is, that is the purpose of spirituality. That is the purpose of the intentions of why we even go into meditation, to understand more about ourselves, to in a way elevate ourselves as much as possible so that we do not go into a path of darkness. We remain as much as in the light as possible. All right. So therefore, it's like, whenever we have different intentions, like nowadays, as I say, there are a lot of availabilities when it comes to meditation. You can go to a yoga class, it's meditative, okay? Because those like yoga postures, okay, are very meditative postures, okay? So that you are so focused into doing certain postures or certain alignment that you relax or elevate yourself, that your mind stop, okay, being that monkey mind, being that overactive mind, okay? And now you can focus, you can be still, and you can in a way gain more clarity. so that after that, doing the Shavasana pose at the end of the yoga session itself, hopefully you can go into a much contemplation, much reflection of your life, and you might find some keys to your life there, okay, that you can work on. So all these things are meditations, okay? But the thing is, what I find lacking nowadays, I mean not totally lacking, but lacking in a lot of practices is, okay, we do the practical part, okay, by lacking of a lot of philosophical part, the knowledge, the understanding of knowing what we are doing in the first place, okay? So the first thing is, of course, our sort of meditation, okay, is going into elevating of the mind, okay? In a way, try to understand the mind, okay? Release it, elevate it further so that now we can look back into ourselves and the shit that we have gotten ourselves into, right? In other words, now we are trying to control the mind. That is mindfulness, okay? Not to control it exactly as in like not allowing anything to pop up from it, okay? But have this awareness so that we know whatever that pops up in our mind itself has meanings to it, has a reason to it. So for us to understand this reason, okay? But the thing is, now, if anytime you can walk into any meditation classes, okay, and it feels good, definitely, during the meditation, it will feel good, right? But the thing is, if you do not have a life philosophy or something that is in a way ancient, like what I'm doing, my meditation purposes is I'm relating to Chinese metaphysics, okay? And partially, of course, Taoism, because that is also the fundamental of Chinese metaphysics because of the yin and yang, the philosophy of the Tao, okay? So I'm using this, okay, in order to incorporate into the meditation path itself for us to understand, okay, for ourselves better. So that part itself is the awareness, is like, the knowledge, okay, the informations that we need to understand. Then only we go into the meditation. So that part of the philosophical knowledge itself is the grounding work. And when we go into the meditation part itself, right, okay, we are both grounded at the same time elevated to know more about ourselves, okay? But let's say for some people, okay, they are now, everyone is free to practice meditation on their own, okay? So I'm not saying that it's totally not safe if you practice on your own. You have to actually be with someone or a facilitator. But it really depends on how grounded we are, how much we know about the intention of the meditation. Because if we are not aware of this intention, okay, we will be all over the place. Because meditations, as my students have attended my classes will know, okay, that somehow, okay, it will create or trigger a lot of things within us. It will trigger our subconscious, it will trigger our mind, it will also impact us emotionally, mentally, and physically. But if we are not aware of this, means that we do not understand the manual of how this mind works, of how meditation works, what will be the after effect of the meditation. If we don't understand this, so when we do it, we lose ourselves. We lose ground of ourselves. And when we lose grounding, that's when people say, is that of course, external spirit lah, or soul lah, or whatever it is, can come in and possess us. All right? So there are two ways of losing grounding. Either we do not, in a way, ground ourselves having a proper intention during a meditation, means we somehow simply meditate, okay, all right, or we just do it without proper understanding what are the things we want to achieve. Every meditation classes will have a theme. Okay, I mean, if you come to my meditation classes, there's a theme, there's a purpose to it, there's an intention set. All right, but the thing is, let's say, for instance, if you just meditate on your own, okay, without setting this intention very clearly, so there is a possibilities that we might lose ground. So once we lose ground, then the chances of now we are also meditating, opening up the chakras, we are allowing the energy surrounding us to, in a way, merge with us, to be at one with us. So let's say, example, if our energy level is low in the first place, the same sort of energy that we get attracted to is the same low energy, because energies, okay, birds of a feather flock together. All the same energy, it will in a way connect together. So if our energy level is low, and we allow ourselves to meditate without setting the right intention and the right purpose, so we open up ourselves, all this lower realm of energy or spirits will come, okay, in a way to be merging together with us. That's when people say, 走火入魔咯, or you get possessed or things like that. So therefore, you're practicing it not in a safe environment, without knowing the intention. So always remember, as long as you know the intention, the environment is safe, it is like a safe ground where you have people or facilitator to help you to go deeper into yourself to understand more into your life. Just imagine that now you are actually practicing a tool to help us to understand more, to have more mindfulness. So we have to understand the manual of this tool, right? Our mind, okay, how it works. What are we expecting or what we are looking at? So imagine that if we do not know the manual, we don't even read the manual, and we just go into practical, that is disastrous, okay? Right, just imagine that if you need to drive a car, you need to know exactly how the car functions. Where is the brake, where's the accelerator, how does your gearbox work or whatsoever, right? You need to know all these things before then slowly under guided supervision, you go into practicing how to drive it. But imagine now that seems like, oh, everyone is driving a car, okay? I also would like to learn to drive a car, but without proper manual, without proper guidance, without proper, in a way, learning and knowledge. You just sit into the car, okay, and then switch it off and just like step on the accelerator. Of course, disaster things will happen, okay? It will bring harm to you more than good things to you. So it's, I mean, to me, it is very common sense lah. Okay, all right, but the thing is sometimes we were not taught to see things this way. Okay, so to whoever that's asking this question, remember there are different intention, okay, to meditation. So the thing is why some people are spinning and rolling is because possibilities is, okay, right, due to their intention, if they are in a religious environment, probably these are the ones that are like training themselves to surrender to their God, okay, to surrender to their creators, so that they allow this energy or whatever this energy it is to possess their body, to take over, to guide them, and in a way it's like, you know, so that they can actually like, you know, be their servants, okay, or the servers of all these like creators. That could be one of the thing as well. But I have personally seen, okay, there are some meditation circles, okay, that people start spinning around, people start dancing over, and people start like yelling or crying, okay? It's not to say that it's wrong, okay? But that particular meditation itself is not, if it's not that the intention, if it's too free flow that people start really like doing a lot of all these things. And to me, I still have this very judgmental mind. I'm still working on my judgment, okay? When I see scenarios like this, the first thing that comes to me is like, is it really the energy or the soul taking over them, okay? Or is it the ego, okay, within them, they are acting this out? There's always a question. But again, we are not in a position to judge others because this path is our own individual spirit path, okay? So whatever it is, we just have to ask ourselves. Our heart knows it, okay? Whatever meditation availabilities that's out there, okay? So we just have to ask, okay, how does it feel, okay, in this environment? Does it feel safe? Does it feel trust? Do I feel good, okay, into meditating? If you do not, then probably you just have to take a break, stop yourself and ask yourself. Because why you need to ask yourself instead of just, oh, I don't feel good and stop straight away. Because if you don't feel good and stop straight away, again, it could be a manifestation of our ego fear, okay? Our ego somehow do not want us to elevate, do not want us to learn, straight away tell us this is not for you, and you stop straight away, all right? If we are doing that and we falls into that all the time, we will not learn. So a lot of things, if certain meditation feels uncomfortable to you, then you just have to stop yourself and ask yourself, why does it feel uncomfortable? Which part of me are not comfortable with this sort of meditation, okay? Why is it so? Because at the end of the day, if we have a very valid, okay, answer to it, it means that we are still looking at things with our heart, with our soul, the pure soul. But let's say, for instance, like, you know, if we question ourselves and we do not have a valid answer, somehow it's like you don't even have an answer. You just say that, no, it's just not for me. It's not my type of thing. But you don't have a valid answer of explanation to it, then probably we got manipulated by our ego fear. All right, so I really hope, okay, that sheds like, you know, some understanding into meditation, okay? So not necessarily it happens only on religious meditation to whoever that's asking this, okay? Because it's like it also happens in normal meditative circles as well, okay? So at the end of the day, all right, are there any meditations that will actually in a way so good, so beneficial that will affect people like strolling around and rolling around? Yes, but at the same time, are there also meditations where people are in a way rolling around but in a way doing more harm to your soul rather than goodness to your soul? Yes, also. That's why at the end of the day, it's always yin-yang. There's always two sides of the coin. It really depends on the intention of the person who is doing it. Okay? Example now, a lot of people are meditating. Like this Friday, we have 200 over people sign up, okay, for the lunar eclipse meditation, because this is like the longest eclipse of the century. But how many of us, of that 200 over, are really signing up because we want the answer to our soul or our life? We want to find out more about ourselves to really grow one step at a time. Or it's just that because of some marketing strategies that you heard, oh, it's the longest eclipse of the strategy. Everyone is doing meditation. Jessie is doing it. I better sign up so that I'm not losing out. It could be. There are, I'm sure, I've seen enough of students. There are some students sign up just because they do not want to lose out. So if that's your intention to start off with, the chances is the outcome, the fruition, okay, of your intention is also a fruition of fear. Okay, so understand, at the end of the day, we have to, in a way, use all these meditative things and all these things to help us, to guide us, so that we can understand more into our intention better. All right, and then now, of course, we bring in the slides. Okay, I have a few slides here. Okay, it's almost 10, so bear with me. Okay, we got delayed earlier on. Now, if you Google about it, there are plenty of articles that talk to you or tell you how good meditation is, how good mindfulness is, or awareness of the mind is. But there are also articles, example like this, okay, that will tell you about, oh, it could be hurting you, okay, it could worsen your mental health, okay, right, okay, the dangers of meditation, negative impact of meditation. I just Google and then I just put some of it. Because to me, this is not surprising. This is not of a concern. I don't have to debate about it. I don't have to argue with people about it because I know what I'm doing. So at the end of the day, okay, always remember, in terms of the philosophy of the Tao, is the world exists in yin and yang. There are always people of the opposite of the scale, okay? We just have to be clear what we are doing. The right intention, sow the right seed, we will in a way able to actually, get the right fruit, okay, or reap the right fruit, okay. So here it says about all these things, okay. Now the thing is, okay, there are plenty of numerous, okay, articles that talk about how these things can in a way affect us. And I'm not in a way against, okay, what the meaning of these things are, okay. Example, these are some of the examples, okay, based on the 7 surprising ways meditating could be hurting you. So I just listed out just one of the article I listed out, okay, and these are some of the 7 ways, okay, that it might hurt you. It says that it may prompt negative thinking, okay. Negative thinking means that it prompts fears, okay, which is very true for people. Imagine the manual I mentioned about, you do not know what you're meditating about. So when you meditate, you remove yourself, you go deeper into your memory, you find out more things, more emotions emerge out. Those of you who attended my meditation classes, you know I always deal with emotion, because the emotions is the communicator between ourselves and the soul, okay. That's how the soul communicates with us, emotions, by giving us emotions, as in like navigating our path for us. So when we meditate, these emotions comes out, okay, it will prompt a lot of fear within us. That's why it will prompt, okay, a lot of negative thinking, okay, a lot of like, things which is like, to a lot of people, they will think that you are going crazy, okay. Example, if you have not done meditation before, right, now that you go into meditation to find out more about yourself, your true soul purpose. And who knows, the thing is, after you found out, you feel that your true soul purpose is to give up your corporate job, is to give up being a part, okay, of that corporate ships, okay, that like, following or abiding the rules, okay, of like going around with this society rules or the rules that's been set upon you. So you realize that this is not something for you, and after these meditations, you find that it is time for you to let go of this, to find something more meaningful for your soul. Example, okay? So to you, you find that this is what you will be doing because this is enlightening to you. But imagine, what will your friends think? What will your family think? What will be your parents be thinking? They will be thinking, it's like, oh my God, you must have gone crazy due to some meditation things, okay? And suddenly, right, you become someone that are letting go of your so-called, like, golden, like, rice bowl. You are giving up on your career, okay, just because you went to this some like shitty meditation things that I have spent so much into bringing you to college or university to get whatever degrees that you're supposed to get. And now due to some meditative things, and you're telling me that you are quitting your job. So that surely in a way labeled as negative, right? But if you understand the equations of yin and yang, what is negative? What is right or what is wrong? Doing what that makes the soul enlightened, makes the soul happy, there's no right or wrong one. The right or wrong is the mind. Okay, so when we meditate, we elevate the mind, we leave the mind out of the equation. What is left is only the soul. So the soul will guide us to do the things to make us happy. But how other people will see it? Surely they will see this as a negative thinking. Now, second thing they say, your sensory perception might change. Now, remember, those of you who are joining me in my Egypt retreat journey next year, I have done a special briefing classes, and I say that once we embark ourselves into not only meditation but spiritual path, okay, what will happen is our sensory perception will definitely change, okay, because not only now we are depending on our 5 senses, we are also in a way opening or invoking our 6th sense or our 7th sense, okay. It means that we become more sensitive to the things around us because our awareness has been heightened. Imagine that if our awareness is not heightened, right, everything that happens around us, we don't give a damn, we don't even know, okay? We are not paying attention. How often we are paying attention to our surrounding, our environment, the path or the journey to work, where we see what's going on around us, the road, okay, the trees, the sun or the cloud. We don't have time to see all these things, but once we go into a meditative mode, okay, we now becomes more aware. So when we are more aware, don't you think that our sensory perception might also change, okay? Our dietary might also change. Remember, those of you who attended my Egypt briefing, all right, and a lot of you write in to tell me that, yes, this is exactly what you felt. All right, so of course meditation, if you go into it, it says that here another, okay, things that could happen to you is motivation may go right out the window. Yes, I also not going against this whatever statement that they're doing. It can happen, all right? Especially when you do not know the actual manual of before going into meditation or setting the intention right. Okay, so you just do the meditation, and after that, all these changes happens energetically in your body. And then suddenly you feel that your motivation may go out the window. But why? Because now, previously, you can be motivated by fear. You are motivated by society priming, okay? You have to work hard, you have to get a degree, you have to go into like the best, like, the corporate worlds, get on top, being the, like, the top 5 C's or whatever you call it, okay? And then for the rest of your life, you have to make sure that you have a house, you have a home, you have the money, you have a nice car. All these things could be your motivation before. But now, all these things might slowly, in a way, might not mean that much to you. So after the meditation, of course, some of you might feel that motivation may go out the window because you find that whatever that keeps you going, okay, that fear of losing out, that fear within you that pushes you all these years, slowly, it starts to shed off. And then when you realize it, surely, slowly, you need time to find your new motivation. You need to find your new path. What is it that you need to be working towards, okay? Besides, in a way, having all this certainty, having all this, like, like security per se, all right? And then another thing is like you might relieve negative memories and emotion, and that's exactly the purpose of meditation, right? Because those of you who actually comes to my meditation classes, you know. And when I say come to my meditation class, you don't have to meditate with me, okay? It can be anyone else. But as long as you need to know the intention, there needs to be the philosophy behind it, the knowledge behind it. Now, for me, I use about yin and yang. We talk about memory and manifestation. Those of you attended my classes, if you remember this, okay? So when you go, okay, into meditative mode, you deep down, okay, or you dig down into your memory. So when you dig down into your memory, of course, you relieve negative memories and emotion. That's the purpose of it, because we want to let go of all these things. Because of all these negative memories and emotions or traumas that we have actually gone through in our life are exactly the things that's holding us energetically down. That's why we cannot elevate. That's why we suffer, okay, in our reality. So therefore, when we meditate, we go into these memories and emotion, all the hurt, the pain, the sufferings, the betrayers, okay, the neglections, okay, that we have gone through. When we go into it, we understand it, we feel it, we embrace it, and we release it. Only when we release it, that is when purifications or detox can happen, okay? Just like physical body, you need to release shit also, right? Because if not, you cannot function. You cannot, in a way, still continue to live if all this shit you are not releasing out. So the same thing, we not only need to release physical shit, we also need to relieve emotional sheets and mental sheet as well. Okay, so therefore they say this could be the negative things that happen to you. So it's valid because meditation helps you to go into that. And the final 3, they say you might experience some physical side effects. Okay, yes, physical side effects as in, like, like Tai Yok Wei, I'm not sure whether you're here or not, okay? She has been in an accident before. So there are a lot of past wounds, physical wounds, okay, that she has suffered. And then during a meditation or after meditation, she finds that all these old bruises or wounds or pain starts to emerge back. Why? Because it has not fully healed. It has only been suppressed, okay, all these wounds. If in Chinese medicine, you will hear, okay, that why people goes into Theta and they have this Chinese herbal medicines to help rubbing onto the bruises that we have, okay, instead of just, in a way, making sure that we don't see the bruises and we think that we heal. It's not that, because the bruises can be blood clots or whatever that clots the energy within ourselves. But if we do not really go into this and bring it out, okay, we don't really, in a way, bring the bruise back out so that we can, in a way, try to move it, okay, we are not really healed. It is still hidden inside of us. So the meditation pushes all these things or the past wounds, okay, to come out to the surface so that we can release it, okay. Therefore, you say during meditation, you might experience some physical side effects, okay. You might even experience like diarrhea, okay, like purgitations, okay, like bruises, rashes. But all these things are toxic that we have actually, in a way, hold into our body. So if you understand this, so this is not a bad thing anymore. But imagine you go into meditation and you don't understand any of this at all, okay? And after going meditations, then you feel all these things happening to your body, and then you stop. Okay, and then you have a bad name on meditation. Oh yes, I remember when I started doing it, okay, like my body feels different, it feels weird, I got diarrhea, I vomited, okay, I have headaches or whatever. This is normal side effects of meditation, because when the energy within us start to flow, okay, and try to flow and, in a way, unblock the blockages, okay, right? Any areas which is blocked, there will definitely be some fight going on, okay, to unblock it. So when the fight is going on, surely it will be painful, or it will have some, like, physical impact on it, okay? So that is also normal. Now, it might damage your sense of self. Yes, because sometimes, or I wouldn't say sometimes, most of the time, so-called our sense of self, who we are, most of the time is the ego self. It's not our own true self. We have been primed since young to give up our own authenticity due to attachment, due to our needs of survival in this world, okay? In order for people to like us, to validate us, to accept us, we have trained our mind so much, okay, to be so alert that we have to be the nice person, we have to be the good person, we have to have a certain certifications, we have to have, a certain level of achievement, and all these achievements are, in a way, labeled by what? Financial achievements, okay? But when you go into meditations, you start to realize that this is not your true self. Not to say that now that we do not go for money anymore. We are still living on earth. We need the money, okay? It's part of survival. But how much do we really need, okay? How attached should we be in it? So therefore, a lot of people say that, should we go into non-attachment? Yes, we should go into non-attachment, but non-attachment doesn't mean that we do not, in a way, enjoy all this material enjoyment, okay? It's like, what's the purpose of a soul? To experience things, right? Okay? But the thing is, non-attachment to me is when you do not allow all these materialistic things to own you. You still own them, okay? It means that you can still have your branded bags, you can still have your nice home or your nice car. But eventually, if you need to live without them, you can, okay? But there are some people, their sense of self is, this labels them as a sense of self. So when they don't have this, they don't have the sense of self anymore, okay? So meditation, in a way, might change, damage, or renew, okay, your sense of self. All right, and the last one, in the article, it says that you may become antisocial. You see, all this, I'm not against the article, it's all valid. Totally valid, okay? The thing is now, imagine if our sense of self, ego self, or validation, that we are trying to cling on to validations of people around us. We have to be the nice girl, nice daughter-in-law, nice wife, nice girlfriend, or whatever, okay? We push ourselves to wear so much of all this mask so that we fit into the society. And when we go into meditation, when we understand more about our soul and our soul purpose, okay, we realize that we do not need all this validation anymore. So do you still want to, in a way, be around people who are always having petty small talks? Do you still want to be around people who are always gossiping about other things, who are always victimizing themselves, who are always blaming or in a mode of blaming mentality? Of course, that when you have the realization of your soul, you elevated yourself, chances is you will now choose or deliberately, consciously choose, okay, to not surround yourself with energy that is in a way draining you anymore. So therefore, when you do this, what other people will see in you is you are antisocial. All right? So remember, my point is, at the end of the day, yes, everything will have its pros and cons. Everything will have its good or bad. Okay, no matter how much you say, okay, even you are talking about the Buddhas or the Lord, it's like some of you, due to your religion, your God and my God can be different, and people are fighting on that. People are killing each other because of that. So therefore, there are always people who are against each other. They are always opposite of the equation. So everything that we do, remember, the purpose of doing it is, okay, do we understand the things that we are doing? Okay, do we understand the why that we are doing it? Okay, and the why that we are doing it, is it branching out from love or it is branching out from fear? That is the intention. So if we understand all these things, then these things, all this news or articles or concerns or whatever our friend says or our relative says, okay, it does not matter anymore. Not to say that they are bad. It is not. They are of concern as well because they have heard it somewhere. But now that we become so clear, we know that whatever people says, it does not matter. It is good. We appreciate it. We are grateful for it. But we will not allow it to disrupt or affect us mentally. We decipher it. We understand, digest it, and we understand at the end of the day, is it really like have truth within it? If it's not, am I going to just follow the path that I choose? Because at the end of the day, no one is going to be held responsible for the decisions that we have made for ourselves. Okay, so therefore, I believe that this clarity is very, very important. Not only when we want to decide whether we want to meditate or not. This particular clarity is important to everything else in our life. All right, so I just want to share with you this particular article that I've shared in my private group. Now, I have a private meditation group which is honestly guilty, okay, which is not very active, okay, right? But I created this group to hold on people with the same energy together, that we are all striving towards the path of energy ascension, okay? So therefore, in this group itself, I've shared this article because why? Next year, I have this session, okay, or I have this, the soul's journey to Egypt, okay? And now, like few days ago, this particular news came out. There are these storms in Egypt, in Aswan, that unleashed scorpions, okay, in people's home. Now, no one up to date, no one actually died from the stings of the scorpion yet. And yet, it is actually poisonous. Now, the thing is, why I want to share this news into the private group itself is, if you are the one who signed up for Egypt, will this sort of news now, in a way, fears you? Because we are in November, and next year, in this time, we will be in Egypt, okay? So when you see this, okay, that's why when we put the intention, you see, somehow we are affected by a lot of news that triggered our fear. So it is valid that some people will start to question, oh my God, storms in Egypt, November, next year we'll be there. Does it mean that the storms will happen again and the flood will happen again and then all the scorpions will be out? I'm not sure. It might be, all right? But the thing is, these are part of the test for those of you who are going on your soul's journey, okay? Because this is a type of test that's going to test you of our fear, which is within us. Are we allowing this sort of things or knowledge or informations or articles to stop us from doing what we intended to do? So when I mentioned about once we, in a way, set the intention into our spiritual journey, all these things will come out. All this news, all these things will come out. It is like a gate, a barrier, okay, to now test you. Are you afraid? November is happening. right? This is a massive, very rare. It have almost like not very often happened in Egypt before, and now it happens in November. The storms, okay, in Egypt that unleash scorpions. And scorpions, okay, if you really look into Taoism and even Buddhism, we have these things called the 5 poisons. Out of 5 elements, we have 5 senses, we have 5 colors, we have 5 emotions, we also have 5 poisons, okay? Those of you who watch a lot of like Chinese TVB dramas, you will know Tok Gao is actually part of the 5 poisons. And this, okay, together with the snake, okay, scorpions together with the snake, okay, spiders, okay, centipedes, and also the toads, okay, right? These are considered the 5 poisons that are supposed to be here to lure and trigger us, okay, in terms of our fear, for us to learn. All right, so therefore it's like, are we succumb to this news, okay, when it appears to us? That is the questions that we have to ask ourselves. All right, so yeah, I hope that whatever that I've shared with you, okay, you can stop the slides, okay, whatever that I've shared with you, it does in a way answered, okay, some of your queries about like meditations, okay, and your understand or hopefully it can actually shed you some deeper understanding into meditation, because as I mentioned, this is something that's been practiced widely, especially now we're going to period 9, okay, a period of spirituality. People becomes more and more in a way in tune with their own spiritual self. So therefore meditation is part, okay, or one of the ways to help us to connect with our spiritual self, okay. So the thing is, at the end of the day, okay, can meditation be harmful? Yes, it can be harmful, but under what circumstances, what state, okay? Hopefully what I've shared with you now shed some light so that you can understand meditation more, okay? Speaking of which, okay, of course, this Friday, as I mentioned, many of you has already signed up, okay? I assume most of you here, okay, has already signed up because we have 200 overs participants, okay, on this Friday itself. That is the end or the last, okay, lunar eclipse, okay, partial lunar eclipse for this year, and it's also one of the longest lunar eclipse, okay, of the century that happens 580 years, okay, according to Kong Yu's research, okay. So if you are intending, okay, or you feel the connection to join me, you can join me on the 19th November, 9 p.m. via Zoom, okay. So it is an experiential workshop for us to understand more about planetary alignment, about eclipse, about our emotions, and then go into a meditative session and also sound session to help us to release, okay, some of the negative energy that we have within us, okay. So you can buy this at 80 ringgit, or you can buy a package, okay, together with the solar eclipse, okay. This total solar eclipse happening 4th of December, okay. It will be the last solar eclipse, okay, for this year. Next year, we will not have any total solar eclipse until 2024. Then it will only have a total solar eclipse back. So if you want to join that, it's happening on the 4th of December. Now, take note on the time. It's happening at 2 p.m. afternoon, okay? So it's a Saturday afternoon, 2 p.m. It's not happening at night. Do take note on the timing, okay? So I really hope, okay, if some of you feel called to, okay, to know and understand more about yourself, okay, to understand more about experiential meditation workshops, okay, do join me on this workshop. Now, if not, okay, you can also join me on the 11th of December, where I'll have the Grand Centurion Breakthrough Workshop, okay? So this Grand Centurion Breakthrough Workshop is also highly recommended. It is 128 ringgit, all right? 11th of December, 2 to 6 p.m., where I'll be using your Pata chart for you to learn and understand more into your life, okay, your key purpose, your key lessons, okay, all right, how to actually revisit back to the past 12 years, okay, to unlock or in a way to unleash or let go of whatever lessons, okay, or things that you need to let go of, and how to say, get, okay, or in a way retrieve, okay, the power or the keys to prepare you for the upcoming 12 years that is coming and opening up on the February 18th, opening of the portals, okay. So if you feel called to this, you can also join me on this particular workshop. It is very, very, really highly recommended. I know, okay. Some of you will say that, of course, you are making the money, is a business. Of course, you will say that it's highly recommended. Yeah, I'm nothing against that, but I really, really want to share with you is, I mean, if 128 ringgit is something that you can afford for a lifetime, okay, sort of like investment, I really recommend you to come for this session. All right? Okay, so thank you so much, okay, to all of you. I'm again so sorry for the delay, okay. It's about like 10:20 now, okay. So sorry for that technical glitch. Yes, it's the lunar eclipse happening, okay, and the powerful, the power is intense, but the times internet here is also lousy lah, okay? Every now and then also it got problem one, okay? Eclipse aside. All right, so yeah, any questions that I need to pay attention to? Okay, let me take a look. All right, let me take a look. Okay. Right, again, if those of you, if you can help me share this session out, I would really, really appreciate it so that you can actually share it out and more people can benefit from it. Romax says that having many obstacles since of recent, a test of my patience and understanding as part of a life journey to Egypt. Romax, yeah, okay. It will be a year-long thing, okay. So brace yourself for it. So thank you so much, everyone. If there's no more questions relating to meditation, then I will just call it a session. Okay, stay safe, stay well, and remember, during the eclipse itself, even though if you're not joining me on a meditative class, okay, do go into a reflective mode. All right, do have some quiet time on Friday night itself. Okay, relax yourself. Try to reflect back into your life, okay? Look back into your life and look at and seek the answer, question yourself, look for any things that you think that you can actually do better, okay? Like what are the emotions that you're feeling? Why do you feel it in the first place? Try to go into that as well because the eclipse will help us to expedite, okay, this growth of our energy. All right, so thank you so much, everyone. Good night. Bye-bye. Take care.